Yeah.
What is in this bag? Why? Oh no.
Huh? This is what I'm gonna teach myself as we record the episode. I'm gonna teach myself how to juggle.
You brought
Juggling balls.
So when you showed up today, I was like, "Oh, I like your wee bag,
Yeah.
your wee man sack,
Little man sack.
and it's got your wee buttons on it you got from Florida."
Some paper.
And I was like, "What's in
This
your?"
is for notes.
But you've got a notepad.
Yeah, well, I don't use that.
So I asked you, "What's the little man sack for?" And you said, "Get out of my life
Yeah, don't look at my man bag.
and don't look in my man sack." And so now we've started recording. You've pulled out 3 juggling balls, which you have selected today to be the day
Yeah.
as we record the podcast that you're going to learn to juggle.
Yeah, as we record. By the end of here's the plan. By the end of the episode,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna be like, "Holy shit! Look at him juggle." I mean,
So far, not going well.
Well, yeah, but we've got an hour.
But you're you're going to have to leave the mic to get...
Yeah, well, you fill this space. 1 second.
Okay, so Gary's now pissed off to get his juggling ball. He's dropped because he can't juggle and he's not going to be able
Right, but at the end, by the end of the
Uh-huh.
by the
You're out
end
of
of the
breath
episode,
already.
by the end of the episode, we're gonna be like, "Wow, Gary's waxing lyrical about the content of the episode, June 2 and all the other sequels, and juggling. What a fucking incredible episode."
Your hands off your hips. Right.
You're always saying you want more visual content. for the
The
episode.
last thing I ever want from you while we record an audio-only podcast is visual content.
Because the thing is, look at this one. Oh, no, I fucked it
that's
again.
that one dropped again. Right, here's what I'm going to ask from you. I'm filling the space. Here's what I'm going to ask from you. This is going to be...
Oh, 1 sec.
Oh, God, is your phone now vibrating? Or is your butt itchy again? Oh, stop scratching your butt. Here's what I'm going to ask from you
It's
now.
scratchy, man.
If you can give me 2 complete juggles, then this is going to be a good episode. If you can't give me 2 complete juggles, we're fucked.
I can juggle. I can do it. I will do it.
And I will do the commentary for the audience at
Well,
home.
why don't we make it fucking interesting, Gav? How about if I do it 5 complete juggles
Okay.
by the end of the episode?
Uh-huh.
You owe me. You buy dinner, but I'm gonna take the piss though.
What do you mean you're going to take the
I'll
piss?
take the piss at dinner.
You always take the piss at dinner.
No, but I'll order an ungodly amount because you don't think I can do it because you're a fucking
Okay.
hater.
So then when you don't do it, what do I get?
Fucking name your price, bro.
Okay. My
I'll
price
sit down and I'll stop scratching my bum on the couch
for the... Okay. Yeah.
forever.
Forever. You never go home. Nat comes home. She's just like, why is Gary still here? He lost a bet. He has to sit here and never scratch his butt again.
And I'll be sitting there like, it's so itchy, Nas. I just want to scratch it so bad.
And I'm like, you're not allowed to talk to her. And I'm just slapping you.
You can have anything. Is that what you want? You want me to? I'll sit down.
No, here's what I want.
It's like what? Just like what?
That one doesn't count as one.
That's not. No, a 1 would be a 3 juggle. But I can't do it to showcase. But by the end of the episode, I will.
Every time you drop one of the juggling balls, it's the saddest thing.
Name your prize. I will learn a juggle. I'll have this.
Okay, here's my price. You make whatever content I want from you when I ask for it. That is my price.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
There.
And I get. Well, I feel like my dinner's not good enough now.
You get whatever you want for dinner.
Yeah, but that's like a one-off, and you're getting like an infinity.
Okay, for the next...
How about this? I get whatever I want for dinner, and you have to do this episode in your pants.
Okay,
Yeah?
Yeah.
We shake on that?
sure.
And if I can't do it by the end of the episode, I have to listen to you, and I do things you ask me to do.
Perfect. Yes, deal.
Perfect.
Oh, he's coming over. We've shaken hands. That was a good hearty shake. Give us your first attempt at juggling.
All right.
Here he goes. 1, 2, 3,
Get fucked like a
4.
juggle, motherfucker.
Fuck, you can juggle!
You got shocked, dickhead! It was a con! Strip off! Strip off! Strip off, dickhead.
No, I'm not taking my trousers.
You shook on it!
I didn't think I actually meant it, though.
You do not fucking welch on this. Clothes off.
Can I put
Clothes off. In your pants. In your pants. It's what you get for fucking for not believing in my abilities.
No pictures or videos.
We have to. I will blur it, but we have to get a picture to prove that you've done this. Otherwise, it was fucking pointless for the whole episode. Never doubt me. Top off.
Oh no, you said your trousers.
In pants.
No.
Yes. Top off. Come on. Come on. Oh, baby. Absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth teaching myself to juggle. I knew this was going to pay off. And it's paid off so beautifully. Gavin, you have no idea how long it took me to learn how to juggle, and I did it just for this. I fucking knew you wouldn't believe me. All right, let's get a photo. Holy shit, that's good. Oh, Christ. Let's record, baby.
It's meandering.
Can I put my clothes back
No,
on
absolutely not. You said a whole episode. You said a whole episode. Come on.
Welcome back to the Meandering Movie Podcast, where I'm currently in my pants and nothing else.
You got fucking duped.
I can't believe you. Do you know what, Bullet? I didn't see it coming. How did I not? It's you. I was like, oh, this is a fun idea. He's going to learn to juggle. I thought this is a fun idea.
Oh, I'm fucking blindsided. Oh, Christ. I am aching from laughter. Oh, holy shit.
I feel
You look good.
exposed.
You look good. You put on weight.
Don't
Since
like-
the last time I seen you, half naked.
I don't feel comfortable.
Still, you can either go quick and we wrap up this episode quick, or you can.
I have such good points to make, but I've got to do it in my boxers.
My ribs are sore.
Oh, I'm so sorry that your ribs are sore. My dignity is on the floor with my clothes.
I've laughed so much. I think I've raised my temperature like 3 degrees. Whew.
Let's take a quick pause and then we're coming back to the episode.
Oh my god.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Meandering Movie Podcast. Second intro of the episode because Gav's desperately trying to get me to collapse on this bet. But for you, dear listeners, I absolutely will fucking not. I'm your gracious juggling host, Gary Copeland Boyd, and I'm joined today by these naked sandworms sitting at the recording table.
My nipples are so hard, it's cold.
Oh, he looks so good.
I look so comfortable.
This is great. Today, Gav, what are we talking about?
Today, let me try and get into the zone of this thing. Today, we are talking about an idea that I had after watching Dune Part 2 twice in the cinema, which is that Hollywood has gotten and has been lazy for
as
a long,
fuck.
long time. And what do I mean by that? Well, here's what I mean by that. When you watch Dune Part 2 and you look at what you're seeing in that film, sure, a lot of it's practical, a lot of it's real stuff. I know I'm in my box, so just try and focus.
I'm focused. Focused in.
So much of what you're looking at in that movie, yes, is in camera, yes, is real. The actors talk about the real actual sets they got to walk into.
Apparently, training the worms was a nightmare.
Training the worms was a nightmare. You see the worm in my pants that I'm trying to keep trained at this point in time. Fucking half chubbed right now. The sets for real, a lot of the practicality in that film, Denis Villeneuve push for that. That is the case. But what I'm talking about is more than just real sets, costumes, or practical effects. What I'm also talking about is just the care, the time, and the attention that gets put into movies. And now a lot of movies just feel like, blast that together. Oh, we'll just do a couple of blue screen shots later on.
Yeah.
Slap the thing in. Oh, visual effects will sort out all these problems. Slap it together. fire it out. Who really cares what the end product is? Because these schlups will just schlup it up. And I think now, a wee bit before Doom Part 2, but now especially with Doom Part 2, a lot of audiences are going to be like, do you know what? We're not just going to schlup up your schlop anymore. We want some good quality.
Schlops in this sense.
Sloppy, schlop. We want some quality cinema again. If you look at movies like Oppenheimer or Barbie, Top Gun Maverick, The Batman, you look, the Doom Part 2, these are all movies that are like, you can see it in the camera that there's time, care, and attention, and you can pivot over to the other side, and you can see your Marvels, your DCs, and some of the other your mortal engines. You always like to bring
Mortal
up
engines.
mortal
Holy
engines.
fuck!
Well, there's just a clear lack of care or vision, and that's what we're going to talk about today. While I sit here in my pants, and I'm feeling more confident than ever.
So, quick question for you, Gav. Have you got a list of the last couple of big hits of the years? The reason I ask this, because I'm with you. I totally get where we're coming from on pretense, on presence. But out of curiosity, have there not been kind of big staple, well-crafted movies consistently? I mean, I'm trying to think.
There have consistently sure.
Yeah.
But I feel the difference now is that those movies would do well enough, but wouldn't change the landscape, whereas the movies that were cheap and visionless and lazy would still make $11 billion.
Yeah. And this is, I know we're kind of coming in hot and heavy here on the Marvels, the Disney, and the DC.
I mean, Disney's the primary target to go
and
after.
And it's because, they without a doubt, they have completely changed the landscape of cinema.
Absolutely.
I say,
absolutely.
I'm saying Disney and Marvel, but it is in DC, but it is the MCU. The MCU has irreparably, maybe not irreparably, but irrevocably. Also, maybe not irrevocably. I'm trying to. I don't know which
You're
word.
distracted by this man in his pants that you're talking to.
The MCU has changed the scope of cinema.
Yeah,
because what we used to get was, big kind of budget films. Even you put up a TikTok the other day and talking about Men in Black, Zorro, The Mummy, and Independence Day.
Yes,
all of those movies came out within 6 years, 10 years.
Yeah, all of them came out between late 90s, early 2000s.
And every single one of them, granted, they all were kind of like big ticket films at the time.
Big blockbusters.
But they do all just have a completely different feel to the big blockbusters of today. Because for every Barbie, I mean, even if we just talk about the last 2 years, Barbie, Oppenheimer, June, Spider-Verse, which I suppose what we need to kind of needle point here is, are we talking art house or are we talking kind of blockbuster for the masses?
We're talking blockbuster for the masses.
Yeah. So outside of those really big films, everything else has been ass.
Yeah, like it's
I've mentioned this. I think I mentioned this last episode, maybe the one before it. But we are missing, in my opinion, the mid-budget movie slot.
100%.
Mid-budget movie doesn't exist now. Your movie either gets zero effort and time put into it, and it gets released, and they hope that what is a £500,000 budget turns into $11 billion, or AAA mega blockbuster. It cost us $60 billion to make this movie. Oh, fucking nice one. How much did you make? Oh, we made $1 million. We made $1 million, and now everyone's in trouble.
Because here's a wee list that I made up earlier before recording, just to get an idea of what I'm talking about when it comes to the big movies. And you're gonna the two primary studios that are going to exist on this list is going to be Warner Brothers, Marvel, i.e. Disney, and then Universal is also sitting in there with one big one, the biggest one perhaps.
The biggest one.
If you look at recently, we got The Flash. The budget for that was 220 million.
220 mil.
And that movie is hot garbage.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Awful to look at. The story is terrible. The characterization, there's not...
It's amazing that the not to go too hard into this, and I'm going to go hard, but not to get too deep into The Flash. It's incredible that The Flash took one of the coolest things that has ever happened in the DC Comics world.
Yes.
Did what, and it's weird, did the thing that 90s superhero films did to every fucking superhero movie, which is like, we've got the X-Men, but we're going to take 3 identifiable things that the comic book fans will like, and then fucking change everything else about it. Is that what you want, comic book fans? It's like, well, no, not really. Well, it's what you got. And then 25 years later, they were like, should we do the Flashpoint Paradox? Yeah, okay. But let's take The Flash and Batman, and then fuck everything else off into the sun.
It's quite amazing
That's
because
what people want, right?
like obviously the Flash was at one point going to be the linchpin of the universe. Then it was going to be what rebooted their universe, and then it became, oh, this is the end of our universe. But then it wasn't, because that then became Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So
I haven't even seen Aquaman.
Oh, it's magically bad. This is what I'm talking about, though, where I'm just like, there was no clear vision, there was no clear care. I mean, I don't want to have rag on the director. I feel like Andy Muschietti did like the Ep movies. He really tried, but it's the people behind him, your producers, your studio execs.
It's the late stage capitalism that is ruining the both of the superhero universes, because they're now, we're out of the realms of let's take some interesting characters and give it to a kind of lowball budget director and let them flex a little bit, and they're now into the realms of we need it to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
And if it's not safe, because we need £1 billion, so if it's not the safe cookie cutter film, well, we don't like that. We don't like that.
It's not only do they want it to be safe, they just want it to be homogenized in a way of just like, it's just empty nothing. Like if you look at the final set piece in that movie, we're just in a plain desert. There's nothing around us, nothing visually interesting to look at, and we're just gonna like have a bunch of CGI made up things hit a bunch of CGI made up things. Nothing looks real, nothing feels real, and nothing makes you want to care about it. And we're going to spend almost 220 million on this garbage and put it out there because it's superhero and people will watch it.
People come around with it.
And it's
because we got Michael Keaton. Remember from Tim Burton?
Yeah. Do you remember Michael Keaton? Do you remember the Batman? He's in it.
He's
and
in
then no one else. And that's what you're saying about like the Flashpoint paradox and the comic books and then the animated movies is such an incredible moment in that universe.
It's cool as fuck.
Like, let's throw the whole universe on its head, but still have the characters you love and then variations of the characters you love. This one, they're like, no, we can't pull any of that off because we've done such a terrible job of like steering this universe towards something. Thanks to Zack Snyder, the useless fucking idiot. But that's one example.
That's
then
Next
you've got
example.
You've got the Marvels that came out.
I guess I didn't hate the Marvels.
I mean, it's a movie that exists. I had a fun time with
It's
it.
fine.
Get some good
But
laughs.
it's you're absolutely right. It's like it's so safe,
It's
so unbelievably
so-
safe.
It's empty of anything.
And then it does what our favorite thing, Gav, multiverse.
Exactly.
They're bringing back the Beast. Remember the Beast? Remember Kelsey Grammer when he played Beast in X-Men? Remember that? We got him back.
Because honestly,
Great. That's what I wanted.
those movies at this point, they became less about like when you look at the original Iron Man or you look at Winter Soldier or you look at Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, let's build characters and in a world and in a story and it's connected and lets you make you care about it. Then you look at the Marvels. Again, fine movie, we're not going to rag on it. But it's just like, we don't really have any ideas of what we want to do, so we're just going to like fly about and hope we find a story, and only one of the characters will like emotionally engage you, and that's Kamala Khan. Like Captain Marvel is just kind of like, she's just there in her movie, and then the other lady is Monica Rambeau. Like, what did she add to the Marvels?
Well, she was the third one.
Cool, there we go. But that movie had a budget of between $220 to $280 million.
The other, and this is again just kind of pinning Marvel here one more time. The other thing that I'm so fucking mind boggled on is that Marvel had what we now know is the big ticket like Marvel superheroes, the ones that people fucking love.
Yeah.
Iron Man, maybe not Cap, but Iron Man, Thor. Who else is fucking big now? The Guardians, Loki, all these big characters, right? I'm not including Cap and Hulk.
Spider-Man.
Cap, maybe actually.
But
Spider-Man, no, because Spider-Man's not in this. But the ones that we kind of know and love today, Spider-Man's always been popular, right?
True.
But back in the 90s, Marvel's big tickets were X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man.
What about Ben Affleck's Daredevil?
But like they were the ones that people wanted to see, right?
Yeah.
Fucking due to the Marvel being broke as shit and their movie rights and selling them off and all this other nonsense, we haven't had the big tickets. So when Disney got involved, or pre-Disney getting involved, Marvel were like, we need to somehow make people give a fuck about the B-listers. Because that's genuinely what Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor, Black Widow,
Hawkeye,
all that. They were all B-listers, even fucking C-listers, right? They did it. They pulled it off. It was a fucking well done, Marvel. Then Marvel fucking did it again, to everyone's fucking surprise. Because I remember before Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I remember reading an article being like, what? What the fuck? They're going to make me care about a tree and a talking raccoon? Are you fucking kidding? Who the fuck is Star-Lord? What the fuck's a Gamora? I remember slagging it off to Dave, to Caboose, and being like, no fucking way. Boom! They fucking did it again.
Because that was also the idea of like with your Iron Man and your Captain America and your Black Widows and your etc. It's like these are grounded characters in a grounded world. This makes sense. If you take it to the Guardians, you're going into space. How do you,
it's too out there.
That breaks up your universe.
So they did it again. They gave us another brand new batch of characters, like 5 characters in one movie that by the end of it, you're like, oh fuck, I love these characters. And since then, pretty much, it's like they just forgot. It's like they forgot how to do it, and now they're just like, let's open the big old bag of Marvel characters. What about Captain Marvel? What about Captain Marvel? New favorite? Why would she be my new favorite? Okay. What about what about this guy, War Machine? What about War Machine? Well, he was in those films. Yeah, but he's not really a character. He's just a sidekick. New favorite? No, not new favorite. Okay. What about?
We're like, we got Scarlet Witch. Anyone like Scarlet Witch? Hands up for Scarlet Witch. It's like an auction.
It's like
200 for Scarlet Witch, 200 for Scarlet Witch. We got 300.
Stop just fucking pulling characters out and giving them no growth, and then telling me they're the new fucking favorites. Like,
yeah, if you think about it,
and what's even more? Sorry, Gav. Oh, I'm all riled up.
Here he goes.
What's even more fucking wild about this is they know that they can't do it because at the end of Ultron, I think, when they were like, we're setting up the new Avengers. They had that panning shot of Scarlet Witch, War Machine, Falcon,
Vision.
And don't get me wrong, I know some of these have kind of like stuck around and they're now becoming the new big, but they did that big shot and every single person was like, absolutely fucking not.
Yes.
If the next movie is these fucking D-listers, you're fucked. And then they didn't do it because Marvel had the fucking presence of mind to be like, okay, cool, yeah, that's a bad idea. And yet, fast forward another 15 years with none of these characters having any real serious growth. Scarlet Witch and Vision, fair enough, a little bit. The new Captain America, ex-Falcon, I suppose. They're trying, but it's too little, too fucking late. Sorry, we're talking not about this stuff.
But that does tie into what we're talking about, which is that Hollywood got lazy and Marvel and Disney are a massive component of that because they, like you said, they changed the landscape of cinema with their cinematic universe, and everyone else was so far behind, went, shit, how do we get onto this bandwagon? And everyone started chasing that bandwagon. You look at DC's attempt was so awful, so rushed, so like slapped together.
DC's always been playing catch up.
They got Zack Snyder in, who is not a universe builder. Yep. He's a visual filmmaker.
Yeah.
That's
pull him in, get him one film, give him a shit ton of money, and it'll look fucking incredible, and it'll be a good time. And then don't ask him for a sequel. No.
Like, do not get him to like, if you look at Rebel Moon, that's not a man who can build a universe. Because fuck me, that's a movie of, hey, look at all these characters. By the end of the movie, you won't remember any of them.
Was it meant to be a Star Wars film, or did it just get touted as like Zack Snyder's?
He went to Lucasfilm and Disney, and he's like, "This is the Star Wars film I want to do." It's like the Magnificent Seven meets Star Wars, and Disney and Lucasfilm were like, "Nah, we're all right, thanks." Like, because again, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
But like that doesn't. So take out Snyder, take out Lucas, take out Disney. Magnificent Seven meets Star Wars sounds like a fucking instant pit. I would be like, if I had the money, I'd be like, fuck yeah. That sounds fucking awesome.
But then there's a perfect example. Being naked is throwing me off. There's a perfect example of laziness is you look at how Disney treated Star Wars, which is just...
I got used to you being...
and I brought you crashing back
down. You're like, oh yeah, look at him.
I'm in my box. I feel weird. I feel like I'm building my confidence as we go. But you look at how they treated Star Wars, which is just... let's just get the old guys back and more or less just do the same again. Yeah. Now, what you can give those movies credit for is from a filmmaking standpoint and from building sets and all that kind of stuff, it looks incredible. Like you can see the money on the screen. I've got a thing here in front of me. The Force Awakens is one of the highest costing movies to make.
Right.
And you can see that. I mean, marketing obviously is a big factor in that because they marketed the fuck out of that movie. But you can see those dollars on the screen.
Yeah.
through the little animatronics or the big sets or the visual effects. But then you look at what the movies we get now, like your Flashes or your Aquamans or whatever.
I know. We've talked about this, and I don't want to go crazy, but the CGI in the Flash is considering that was like DC's final swan song,
Almost $300 million.
$300 million. This is it, guys. This is going to be the big one. The CGI in the Flash is some of the fucking worst CGI I've ever seen, and this is not an exaggeration. If you have not seen the Flash and you were sensible and thought, "I'm not going to fucking bother," good on you. But to save you the hassle, it is fucking awful. It looks like, I'm sure I've said this, but it looks like a PlayStation 2 cutscene.
Yes.
For 90% of the movie. Every time he's in the speed bubble. Oh my God.
I remember the first time they went into the speed bubble, I went, "Oh no, this is something wrong with the projector."
I was the same.
Something's wrong here.
Because it's like, oh, it's the scene from the beginning of the movie. All right, cool. But we've taken the whole scene, recreated it on a PlayStation 2, and we're going to show you it again. I'm like, but what? But you have the scene because I've watched it. I watched it with the real people. So what is this? What have you done?
Why have you done this?
Whose decision was this?
And
fire them
That
into the sun.
Perfectly encapsulates the idea of laziness, which is that's because again, that's not to blame the visual effects artists because they were just like.
I mean, yeah, that's a symptom of a much bigger issue.
They were railed against the wall, and it's a studio just being like, "Oh, we don't know what we're doing. We have no vision. We have no clear idea of what we're doing. Just slap this thing together and we'll put that." Like the stuff where they, like quote unquote, have Nicolas Cage or Christopher Reeve,
the likeness of
appearing in the movie. That's just. It's not only embarrassing, it's just disrespectful to the people that you are doing those weird visuals of, but also your audience.
Did they ever come out? Did Nick Cage ever come out and say? Has he ever commented on it?
Yeah, he did an interview where he said, "Oh, like I went in one day, they put me like in that suit. They'd made me the entire suit. I was there, got on a wig. We filmed the thing, and the thing we filmed was none of what was in that film.
My God.
Like there was no big spiders. I was never told about that. I never they just." Took that.
They took his likeness, right?
Took his likeness and then they just manufactured it in the computer. And it's disrespectful to him and it's disrespectful to us to be like, yeah, you'll eat this up because you're used to all this slop.
So we have now done our usual and fallen into the we hate Disney, Marvel, and the DC trap.
Let's get off.
Let's get back around to how do we. So what else? So give me some more films.
I was going to give you again. It's Disney, but it's different. It's Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, it's terrible.
295 million, but with marketing apparently ballooned to over 400 million to get the movie out there, and that movie barely made 300 and something million. Like, and we talked about that last year. You can listen to our best and worst movies episode of 2023. It's one of the worst movies that came out last year because it's empty,
insulting to all parties.
It's insulting. It's deprived of any joy or fun. It's just like. And it's just like, where is the money on the screen?
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize it was that much to produce or make that film.
And in my last example,
and sorry again, this is kind of like it is a big symptom of all it. Like again, the companies are all going right. If the film's not massive, if the film isn't the biggest film, and we haven't spent the most money on it, people aren't going to come and see it. So we need to spend huge amounts of cash. And then when it doesn't do well, the higher ups don't go, maybe it's a problem with the writing or the anything that we've done in the
structure
film.
We've put in place.
Structure. They go, it's definitely the viewer's fault. The viewers are the problem. They don't come cinema anymore.
Or it's that filmmaker's fault for not doing what we needed them to do. It's like, 'cause they did do what you did and it didn't work. Yeah. And you spent $11 billion on it. It's like, why are you spending this much money? And where is it on the screen?
How much was Everything Everywhere All at Once, out of curiosity?
Let me look that up for you on my computer device.
So considering Everything Everywhere All at Once was, Oscar-winning film, did fantastic. And it was a visual effects smorgasbord. How did that land in comparison?
Budget for Everything Everywhere All at Once was, when my laptop catches up with me, 25 million.
What?
25 million to make that movie.
How the fuck did the Dial of Destiny... No, Gavin, absolutely not. How did the Dial of Destiny spend... Wait, let me do my mental maths. 4, 8, 16, 20 times that amount of money? Yeah. 20 times that amount of money. No.
And
I don't believe you.
I
think you're lying to me.
No, because it says here, made a relatively moderate budget of 25 million, directed by duo Daniel Kwan and Daniel Shrute. Shrute?
That's...
Now think about this. That's a perfect example. So let's take Dial of Destiny as our example right now.
What?
And let's take everything everywhere all at once. Look at the engagement, the response, the reaction, the praise, and the accolades that Dial of Destiny got, which are none. And then look at Everything Everywhere All at Once on a budget of 25 million. That movie was movie of the year for a lot of people. It got Best Picture nominations. It won many awards. It got Michelle Yeoh the credit she deserved this entire time.
I want to rip my jaw off.
It has hit the floor where your juggling balls are currently sitting.
20 times
Yeah.
the amount of money. I can't fathom. My brain isn't braining right now. Like that's...
That example right there, and I keep saying this example for a lot of things. That example and many others, the one that we'll
I
get
think it's
to.
20 times. My math is terrible.
No one cares. No one cares about the maths. We're here for the words and the vibes and me and my underwear.
Wait, you keep talking. I need to do the math. It's going to piss me off. One sec. You
Okay,
keep
so
going.
yeah, that right there is what inspired this topic for me.
Yeah.
Which is you look at a movie like Everything Everywhere All at Once.
It's about 20. Holy fuck. I did okay.
I fucking smashed it. Is with the ideas on the screen, the creativity on the screen. It even takes the multiverse, which these superhero franchises are now so entrenched in. For the love of God, stop! No one cares about your multiverse.
And it looks incredible, and it's clearly been crafted by people that care about the fucking craft of cinema. And I think that's the key difference is that you let creatives create, and your film will. I mean, maybe it won't tick every single box. Maybe it won't fucking be the movie of the year in the Oscar winning. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not going to be the best picture winner. But if you let creatives create, they will come up with something that will be an enjoyable, fun, engaging time, which in turn will do a better fucking job of it. Which is where fucking to come full circle, which is where Marvel started and why the first Marvel films became what they became, because they let directors be like, hey, do you want to come and direct this like Iron Man 2? It's like, well, what can I do with it? It's like, honestly, kind of go nuts. Like, what do you want to do with this film? It's like, well, I'd like to tell like a story where maybe he's like a bit of a cunt to everyone. Cool. There is no way in hell at the end of the Iron Man arc they were going to have a scene where he's just a bastard to any of the people he loves because you couldn't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't have like this is very similar but different at the same time. Like The Rock and Vin Diesel's "I can't lose" clause.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there is no way that Disney would have allowed a scene at the end of the Iron Man arc where Iron Man is just like, you know what? I hate all of the Avengers. I'm gonna go be a selfish dickhead and get fucking drunk, and then make a joke about eating piss and shit from the suit that gets filtered because that's my character. Because he became such a no, he has to be the father figure. He's the big. Fine, you can call it character growth, whatever. But what I call that, I think, is Disney being like, oh, he's our bankable character. We can't have him. We can't potentially sour him to the audiences even for a fucking moment.
Wantable and likable.
Yeah, like he has to be. He's got his own no lose clause.
He has to sell lunchboxes for fuck's sake. You gotta sell the lunchboxes.
Yeah. Cool. Sorry.
My last. I guess 3 examples, but last 2 examples, in fact, no, I'm cutting one of them out, is the budget for Fast X.
Now,
and this is where the comparison's then going to come into Dune and Dune Part 2.
Do you know where the budget for the Fast franchise has not gone?
Where?
To the Universal ride of the same name. It is one of the worst experiences of my entire life.
What is the Universal ride for Fast and Furious?
Here's a question, Cav. If you were an Imagineer or a creator or whatever the fuck they call them in Universal, and someone came to you and they're like, right, you need to make a Fast and Furious ride for the people.
Yeah.
What would you make?
Right. Initial thought.
You
know, you've got, is it like the Hot Wheels ride where you're like on cars, like 2 separate cars, and like the Hot Wheels ones are racing each other?
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Right, so you've got that. They're on tracks, but you're going to have...
like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But a themed kind of one.
But then you're going to take in that famous ride where like you go downstairs and like there's a subway and the water's coming down and it crashes towards you.
That's not there anymore, but I know what you're talking about.
So you take those 2 concepts, but instead of like it's water crashing down, it's like there's a big bus and it's flipping and it splits in half and you drive through the split bus.
I like this. Yeah,
and that kind of stuff and like fire and
practical
spark.
effects.
Yeah,
cool.
And then there's like a moment where it feels like you're you use the G-force of a roller coaster to like jump off a jump, but you're obviously not leaving the track.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it feels like you are. Boom, there you go. That's what I'm doing.
Cool. It's like all of it's going to be high adrenaline, G-forces.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like you're in a car. Awesome. What if instead of that, you were in a large trolley, maybe like a first bus, because we were in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And then they had a big screen around you, and the bus rocked a little bit.
Wow.
And the screen has some really terrible recreations of Vin Diesel, The Rock, and some other people who I didn't
Or like
recognize.
PS2 versions of.
Pretty much. And they're like, hey, we're gonna at the beginning, there's a really good walkthrough bit before you get on the quote unquote ride where they've got a couple of actors, and the first guy's like, hey, we're gonna hook you up with, I don't know the character's name at all, and I don't want to get it wrong. But he's one of the
Dominic
fast.
Toretto.
No, it's none of the big ones. It's like a B-list character. Maybe it's not. I don't know Fast and Furious. But like then
Ja Rule.
they've got a it might be actually.
It's not Ja Rule. it's them. What's his name? The two guys who go into space and stuff.
I don't know enough about it. But you're there, and then they have a clip of him, and he's like, "We're gonna get you in. You're gonna have to come on my bus. I'm gonna take you guys to the secret hideout." Then you go through a next room, and there's another little bit, and you're like, "Okay, this seems cool. It's kind of interactive, and these people are chatting away, video clips." And then you just sit on a bus, and it doesn't move, and they blow wind on your face, and the rocks a little bit, and then and then eventually the screen splits, and the bus drives maybe 10 feet, I guess. And the ride finishes. It's Fast and Furious. Put me in a fucking car. For fuck's sake.
Why are you on a bus?
But like, I came off of it and I went, like, I'm not even a big Fast and Furious fan, but if I
one
was
is.
making a ride, I would put them in a car. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Number one,
The one
put
thing.
people in a car.
It was like one of those, like a 3D, those like 3D things like that you get Silverburn.
Yeah, and you sit in it. And
Like
it's
that.
And it's got a screen.
Stripped back down to the worst imaginable version of that.
It's like someone at Universal's like, oh, my mate Stan's got like a bus that he's not using anymore. Like it's just sitting there. Like,
Sure.
we just bring that in. Like he only said he wanted like $400 for it. Get the bus.
I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Anyway, sorry. Budget for Fast and Furious X. Fast X.
10. I want you to give me a guesstimate of what you think the budget was for Fast 10. Now, keep in mind, this is a movie where it's, like you said, a bunch of who knows what name characters in cars driving about exotic locations.
So, and Indiana Jones was 400 million.
So you look at The Flash, for example, he travels
just
through
300
time. That's 220 million.
Big
You've
names.
Indiana Jones 5.
Big cars, big explosions,
Yeah.
jet setting. It's going to have to be in the 300-400 realm. Million. Has to be.
So what do you think it is?
I mean, I would have to assume it's more than Dial of Destiny, I guess. There's more characters in it, right? More big names. 500 mil.
Close. 340 million
God.
to make Fast 10.
That's crazy.
And then this is where I had the impetus of the thought after watching Dune Part 2. Because, so for example, the budget for Dune Part 1 is 165 million.
Half.
And then the budget for Part 2 is 190 million. So far, every movie we've talked about, both Part 1 and Part 2 have been less in budget.
Yeah.
But Dune Part 2, for example, or just both Dunes, they're creating a whole new world
Yeah.
on a whole new planet
Yeah.
that's completely alien.
Yeah.
Fast 10, I want to remind you, it's just
in
a
cars.
bunch of bald men
In cars.
or attractive
stuff up.
ladies in Audis in Italy.
Yeah, that's
and that
nuts.
somehow is $340 million to make.
That's
not including marketing.
The funniest thing about the Fast universe is that in the first Fast film, it's about them like jacking stereos.
Yeah, they're just trying to get VHS players. God, that was hard.
And then now,
And now they're like, they're driving away from.
it's the Dragon Ball Z problem, right? Like, because you know the Dragon Ball Z problem.
No, I'd never watched Dragon Ball Z.
It's okay.
But I know the creator recently passed away, so
did.
rest in peace.
R.I.P. The funny thing about Dragon Ball Z is in season 1, this what is it? Frieza.
Vegeta.
Vegeta comes down. Yeah, Vegeta's the first bad guy. No, you're right. Vegeta comes down and he's like, I'm gonna kill Goku. He's an alien from another planet, and I'm from that planet. I'm gonna kill him. And I'm gonna go Super Saiyan. And Goku's like, oh fuck, well I'll beat you up. I don't think he does go Super Saiyan actually, but he beats up Vegeta, right? Then Frieza comes down. Frieza's like, I'm stronger than Vegeta. Then the next one comes down, and because the rules of Dragon Ball is Goku gets stronger. So when Frieza comes down, he does have to go Super Saiyan. So he like levels up to the next level, beats the fuck out of Frieza, right? The next boss has to come down and it's like, well, it has to be stronger than Frieza. We kind of already made it clear that Frieza's like a planet destroyer. So I guess this guy's
a universe destroyer.
I guess a universe destroyer. Goku levels up, beats the universe destroyer. Next boss, and it's like, oh fuck, oh man. Well, I guess if the universe destroyer is gone, the next one,
he hangs out in black
can
holes.
Can eat atoms. I guess he can eat atoms. Maybe Goku beats him, and it's like, oh fuck,
Stop beating them.
oh my god. Like, so the next boss. So Fast is like that though. Where every movie, it's like, oh, okay. So what did we do last time? Last time we beat AIDS and cured cancer. All right, I guess we're gonna have to fucking. I guess Dominic Toretto and The Rock are gonna have to go back in time and save the planet from save the dinosaurs from an asteroid. Fucking who knows?
I did love the idea of like Dominic Toretto walks up to an AIDS victim, sucks the blood out, processes it through his body, delivers it back, and he goes,
Dialysis.
"I just cured AIDS." It's like, thanks, Dom. On to the next crisis.
It's just that's the entirety of Fast 20. He's just walking through a hospital ward, and he's like,
Fast 21. They go back.
He's in a white robe. He's got sandals on. He's got a big long. He's basically Jesus, and he's like, eat my bread and drink my blood, and you will be cured of the blood of the AIDS. Thanks, Fast 20.
Fast 21, they go to Paris, they travel to the opposite end of the tunnel and save Diana. You're welcome, Diana.
You're welcome. Oh, fuck. Yeah,
So,
these
yeah.
films suck.
So then that, in turn, brought me and us in this topic to Dune and Dune Part 2. Because, yes, visually what you're looking at in Dune and Dune Part 2 is incredible. It's impressive.
Yeah.
You've got the incredible sets, the
It's
incredible
also stacked.
scope.
Like, it's also absolutely stacked
Cast-wise,
cast.
fucking
So
stacked.
there's no excuse of like, well, you know, Fast has got Vin Diesel and The Rock, and it's like, yeah, cool. Well, we've got fucking Batista, we've got
Florence Pugh, you've got
Timothée
Chalamet,
Chalamet, we got Christopher fucking Walken,
Charlotte
popping up.
Rambling.
We got what's his name, Harkonnen, John Lithgow. John Lithgow.
John Lithgow. It's
not John
Oh my
Lithgow.
god, I want John Lithgow to play the
I
Baron.
feel like he would have been a good Baron Harkonnen. That's a fan cast right there for you.
John Lithgow is the Baron.
As Baron Harkonnen. I'm just saying, I really want to take down the Atreides.
But he's got a big fat
Oh, he's huge, yeah. Like,
and he went method for it and bulked up. It's Skarsgård.
Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård,
Bill Skarsgård. No, not is it Bill?
Stellan Skarsgård, and then Alex Skarsgård.
Or is it Stellan Skarsgård? It's one of the Skarsgårds.
One of the Skarsgårds.
But the difference is when it comes to the Fast movies, and that is ego. And those movies are all about, like you said, Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Vin Diesel are both like, oh, I can only take 2 punches in a fight. I can't fall onto my back. I'm not allowed to lose. And it's just like, get over yourself, you fucking loser.
Crazy.
Because that was the thing for Hobbs and Shaw, where it's like, oh, when they'd have the fight scene at the end, Jason Statham, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and Idris Elba all had clauses in their contracts for. Oh, I don't know if Idris Elba did, because he's just like, I don't give a fuck, just pay me.
Yeah, he's a villain.
But they're like, I can only lose this much. And it's just like, where's the fun? I mean, Antonio Banderas and Zorro, he wasn't worried about how many hits he was going to take. He was just a boy swinging a sword, having a great time.
Interestingly, this is Marvel again, but nothing to do with the MCU. Thank fuck. In the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, remember that one? Fox Kids. We would have grown up with it.
Yeah.
Radioactive Spider-Man. That one.
Yeah.
The reason, so that got like through to the censors, and the censors were like, no. Good Christian American children can't be exposed to this violent, heinous acts. Spider-Man throwing a punch, how dare he? He cannot. So if you rewatch that show, which you can on Disney Plus, Spider-Man doesn't punch anybody. He grapples the fuck out of everyone. Venom's there and he's like, Spider-Man, I'm going to eat this baby. And Spider-Man just grapples him to the ground and they roll around a bunch.
And then he like sticks him to a wall.
Sticks him to a wall. That's because he was not allowed to throw a punch. Spider-Man wasn't allowed to be violent because it would teach kids. Also why, when you watch it, there they are, my boys in blue, here to save the day with Spider-Man. And it's just 90s America in New York, but everyone's got fucking laser guns because they weren't allowed to show real guns on screens. So everyone has a fucking bright pink laser gun, including the NYPD. Fun fact of the day.
Well, oh, that was okay. I thought you were going somewhere with that.
No, I just thought it was funny. Like, it's just like clauses and shit.
So yeah, what I was point-wise going to say is I don't know what you want me to do with that
That's
information.
just it's good information.
Take that information, people, and travel around the world with that.
Tell people. It's funny. It's if you ever want to rewatch the 90s Spider-Man, because if you didn't know that and you rewatched it, I promise you, if you ever watch any episode of it, you'll be like, why is Spider-Man just rolling around on the ground with people? Why is that all he does? Like, why? Like, just punch someone or kick someone.
Here's my mission for you now, listeners. One of you, I want you to summit Everest, and when you get there, record a video of yourself telling people that fact, because then the world will know that fact because you have done it while on top of Mount Everest. In fact, Gary, you're running at least 1 to 2 kilometers every day.
Every day, baby.
You should get to the point where you summit Mount Everest and then tell people that fact.
I think I've already done it.
What, summited Mount
I
Everest?
think I've ran more than Everest.
Well, okay, then just run it.
What, all the way up?
Yeah.
That's much harder.
While juggling.
Want to see it again?
No, I do not want to see your trick again, you evil trickster.
Yeah, what's next?
Was the point I was running towards.
Sorry, I took us
before
off.
You
I took us
derailed
off.
me with Spider-Man, which is when it comes to Dune and Dune Part 2, now what audiences are seeing and what they can get is not only all the practical stuff, but you can get great character work, great story work, obviously from the book, which inspired the movie, and then just an epic feeling big budget box office movie again, which I don't feel like we get much anymore.
Yeah.
The last time I sat in the cinema and watched something that I had a similar kind of overwhelming joyous experience with was Top Gun Maverick, a movie primarily shot in IMAX. Yes, there are a lot of visual effects in
You
there.
fucking love IMAX.
I love IMAX. I love the IMAX. Like when I sat there in Dune Part 2, which we could just gush about if you want to, and I want to, and you get to that, spoilers for Dune Part 2, so I'm going to hit the spoiler klaxon now for Dune Part 2. Aha! When you get to the big final showdown and Paul Atreides and all of his squad are about to attack the Emperor and their team, and you've got the big storm and the sandworms come crashing out of it.
That's a nice shot with the three of them.
With a lovely shot with the three of those big holes. And I was just sitting there with this towering IMAX over me. I was just like, I started to like well up. I'm just like, this is the fucking...
This is the cinema experience.
This is the joy of cinema that I've been wanting. Vision. Ideas. Do something different. Even though Dune and Dune Part 2, yes, you got the David Lynch movie from the 80s, and it's
Starring Sting.
Starring Sting.
his
Oh, God, the pictures of...
Underpants.
If you've not seen Sting
Patrick
in
Stewart
Dune,
playing
Google Sting in Dune. That's
Gurney.
and then think of me in my underpants and Sting in his underpants, and you're going to have the greatest night of your life. God, my girlfriend is so lucky.
Sting in Underpants.
I don't like this.
Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Gurney Halleck.
Yes.
Josh Brolin.
Stop it. Those movies...
Chalamet. Sexy June. Sandworm. Tim Curry.
Tim Curry wasn't in any of it.
I'm branching out.
Don't branch out.
Dr. Frankenfurt. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Crystal Maze. Richard O'Brien. Tracy Beaker.
Tracy Baker.
It's connected.
How is Tracy... Right. You are now going to spend the rest of this podcast connecting Tracy Beaker back to Sting in his underpants in Dune.
I did in
Go.
I did in 5 steps.
Go.
I just did it. You weren't listening, you dumb
Do it
fuck.
again.
Tracy which way do you want me to go? Tracy to Sting or Sting to Tracy?
Let's go Sting to Tracy.
I think Sting to Tracy. Sting was in June. Patrick Stewart looks like Richard O'Brien.
Who's Richard O'Brien?
Richard O'Brien is the bald man who made the Crystal Maze.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Richard O'Brien also wrote Rocky Horror Picture Show, starring Tim Curry, Dr. Frankenfurt.
Yeah.
And Tracy Beaker's actress was one of the characters in the stage show of Rocky Horror Picture Show about 3 years ago.
Fair fucking play.
It's not Cassandra or Casanova. It's
What you want in her name?
I can't remember the character's name. It's the one in the film.
Her name's Tracy Beaker.
No, in the movie in Rocky Horror, Tracy Tracy Horror Picture Show. In Rocky Horror Picture Show, the one that's wearing the American suit, she's got a name like Casablanca.
California.
Something like that.
Calabasas.
It's not Calabasas. But there you go, did it.
I hate you.
Colombia.
Thank you, Colombia. I don't care. Where were we? Bring me back. This episode had such... And now you went off into Spider-Man and I'm gone.
I did it. Get wrecked. Science fiction.
Here's my finishing point. This is my finishing point.
Motion picture.
My finishing point is...
Double feature, actually. Sorry.
I feel like the last time we had a movie. Oh, that was it. Yes, Dune and Dune Part 2. Stop it! Stop talking! Stop!
Transylvania.
The last time Dune Part 2, that's it. These are, of course, based on a previous movie and they are based on a book. So they're not original. Frank Herbert's book. But they're not original IP. But it still feels like something new and different for an audience that has become so fed up with your multiverses and your cinematic universes and your hero complexes, because Dune in itself, with its main character Paul, is the opposite of a superhero or a hero. He is a false prophet. He is a...
Is he?
Well, yeah, the whole point of like the Paul in the book is he is like a false prophet. What is your take on Paul then?
Well, he's like the Bene Gesserit set up as false prophet, but then he is actually the prophet.
I don't think he's actually a prophet, though. I think it's more that he takes on the tools laid out by the Bene Gesserit for him to
become the prophet.
But he's a false prophet because he's not actually
What's a false prophet?
A false prophet. That's
all right. So if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, is it a duck?
Well, the Muggles don't know.
But it's the interesting thing. It's the very interesting point of the whole fucking double feature. Is like, you're right. Even though the Bene Gesserit have like propped him up and given him all the fucking tools and potentials,
they've laid out all that groundwork for.
Doesn't make him any less of a prophet, as fucking Stillwater says, like as it is written. Like, it doesn't matter as long as the belief's there and it was written down and it. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck. True. It's a duck, baby.
I guess it all depends on...
But then that's interesting. This is the point of it.
Yeah, it depends on perspective. And then again, that's what we're talking about is when you
Listen
look...
Listen
Al-Gaib. When you look at a movie like that...
As it is, dude.
Like when me and when me and my girlfriend went to see it and left, we came out of the movie and there was just so much to talk about. And when you and I met up a couple of weeks ago, there was so much to talk about, whether it's the characters, whether it's the story, whether it's the themes or the ideas. This movie isn't just visual spectacle, even though you could literally just go to it for visual spectacle. It's a movie with so much substance, ideas and themes. And to take what we've had before, which is these big budgeted empty nonsense, you get movies that have nothing to say, do nothing, aren't interesting, there are no characters to mind from. When you walk out of the cinema, you go, oh, what did you like? You go, oh, that bit was kind of funny. Oh, that bit was cool to look at. Yeah, go get a pint? Yeah, let's go get a pint. Whereas you come out of Dune Part 2, you come out of Dune Part 1, you can look at that movie for so many different reasons, and it can be 5 stars. It can be the masterpiece. It can be the greatest movie of all time if you want to say it is, because there's so much to mine from it. And I don't feel like we've had movies like that in that scope with that much range since like the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
I think what I find interesting is if you go on the wild internet, the
wild internet,
and you go into like Reddit.
Darling, where are you? I'm going on to the wild internet.
I'm going on a safari expedition onto the wild internet, try and find some original content. No, but if you go out there and you do look at movie boards and message boards and Reddits and subreddits and all these things that are talking about films, you know.
Yeah.
And if you go to very specific niche ones, you're going to find specific niche ones. But if you stick to the kind of wider, more mass-friendly places, the films that people are talking about, and to this day still discussing and trying to pull apart, things like The Shining, things like
Blade Runner,
like Back to the Future, even arguably, all these films that people are still kind of like debating and trying to figure out.
The Matrix.
Are films that came out 20 years ago. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's trying to fucking decipher what happened in Dial of Destiny because it's so fucking dumbed down and it's just given to you on a plate. Granted, that's not a good example, but actually, no, there's a fucking great example because another film that people are still discussing to this day are things like the original fucking Indiana Jones. People would rather talk and try and find the secrets in these, like, oh, I was rewatching Indiana Jones the other day, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I noticed this in the background, which adds something to a later scene, and it really ties the whole movie together.
Or you can have an actor or a writer who worked on one of those projects. They finally have a place to talk about, like on a podcast or something, and they can reveal something to an audience they didn't even realize in the first place.
To this day.
Whereas, because there's so much in those movies to take from those movies, even fucking, I mean, it's a big dumb blockbuster, but you can look at Independence Day and then you can like, oh, look at how society reacted to this sort of thing in that movie, and then doesn't that kind of mirror what's happening now in our society? Like, isn't that weird? It's like you can look at it, whereas you pivot over and you look at what I think is one of the worst movies ever made, The Flash. What did you take from that? Except terrible decision making.
Right. Wrap us up, fuckface.
This has been the Me Ending a Movie podcast. Yes, I have done the entire thing in my pants because I am liberated. And you can be liberated too if you follow us on social media. Go down to the description. You will find our TikTok, our Instagram, our Twitter, our Facebook, our email, all of it. Give them clicks, give them likes, give them loves, give us loves, give yourself some love, but not with your pants on.
Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Oh my god. You're naked. We're doing the episode.
Who are you? Who are you?
It's me, Roland.
You don't sound like Roland.
I don't look like Roland either, but I still am.
You seem...
Gav, you look incredible.
Well, thank you, but I have a girlfriend. This is incredibly inappropriate.
Roland's hot as fuck now.
What the fuck happened to Roland?
We'll find out next episode.
See you soon.
Music is live.
Bye.
Music is life.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So